Hi there, and welcome to the Modern Firm Practices Show. I'm your host, Brad Turville, and this week we're going to have a chat about customer experience. Now, you can probably see here, I've just finished up a little bit of a training, and it was a little bit more marketing orientated, but a topic that I was talking a lot about was customer experience. This is something that I love. I think in professional services, especially with accountants, there is a massive opportunity there. So I'm going to be sharing a number of tactics right at the end. I'll share a few today, but if you want access to around 20 topics, hang around to the end. I'll let you know where you can go to grab them. This was a topic that I was going to present on at Accountex in London in May 2020, which was only a couple of months ago. And due to what's going on in the world in 2020, I think if you're watching this video in many years' time, you're still going to know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say the word. That's been postponed and taken a bit of a rain check there. So I thought I would cover off on it today because I have been speaking with practitioners about it quite a bit. It is a topic that I love. I think it's a topic I can contribute a little bit to and share some ideas that you may not have thought of that are a bit outside the square, and they're definitely, some of them, outside the accounting industry. That's a separate topic, maybe something that I'll shelve for a future episode. A lesson I learned from a guy a long time ago called Jay Abraham was looking into other industries and seeing what they're doing, and then reflecting on how could I implement that into our industry. What a lot of businesses do is they just focus on looking within their own industry and talking to their peers and suppliers in the industry, and then everyone just keeps on doing the same thing, but that also means everyone keeps on getting the same result. And we know the story about, you keep doing the same thing and wanting something, wanting a different result. So customer experience, when we think about professional services, and especially let's talk about accountants, it's all a relationship type business. So you as a practitioner have expert knowledge on, let's say, frameworks, standards, legislation, experience in trends and where to look. And, you might know Microsoft Excel inside out and so on and so forth. But we're really in the relationship business. If you might be an accounting firm working with business clients, but an accounting firm is just a group of people that have come together, and the business clients that you work together are just a group of people to come together, and you are just people working really with people. So this whole experience around how does that relationship, where does it come from, how does it start, how does it grow, how does it continue, so on and so forth, is very important, and it's probably a little bit undercooked on many fronts. So I'm of the belief that the average small business owner doesn't know the difference between a good accountant and a great accountant, technically speaking. Okay? They don't know the difference between a good technical accountant and a great technical accountant. So let's run that example. If you as a let's say a technical accountant, okay, who's doing, let's say, some tax work, forgets to include something, or they didn't even know there were certain concessions or discounts or something that you could access, and they do the job for the client, and the client ends up paying the bill that they need to pay, and so be it. The clients in most cases are not going to know you forgot this, you could have accessed more here, you could have got a 50% discount over here. That's why they're coming to you, because if they knew how to do it, they would just be telling you what to do, or they would be an accountant themselves. That's generally not how it is. They rely on you for your expertise. So the point I'm making here is around that they're generally not going to know the difference between a good and a great accountant. But everyone knows the difference between good and great customer experience. People especially know the difference between bad customer experience and great customer experience. And people definitely have a threshold for it. So why I think highlighting that is important is because are there a lot of clients that you are losing, not because you're not good at what you do, but because of customer experience? And are you not attracting and onboarding new clients, not because you're not good? You might be the best tax accountant going around. You might be the best business improvement, business development advisor going around. But if you're pissing your clients off or they don't like you, they're never going to come to you, or if they're with you, they're going to get out real quick. That's a problem. So I spoke to an accountant on last week, can't remember the day, and she was telling me that she just brought on a new client, and that client had been paying the previous firm $65,000 per year. It's not a massive client in regards to size. It might be a couple of $1 million turnover, but quite a healthy fee for a suburban accounting firm. 65 grand to the last accountant. And I said, I'm interested. Someone of that size, in the industry they're in and the amount they're paying, why did they leave? And guessing of the topic we're talking about today, she said the accountant just never got back to us. Wouldn't return phone calls, would take forever, even if they would reply to emails. Now, that highlights the example here. That accountant could be amazing at what they do, but because they're simply not getting back to people, we're not even getting into some of the fancy or very wow factor customer experience. We're talking customer experience 101, which is if your client calls, call them back or get back to them. Like at a minimum. And I'm not even saying within 24 hours. I'm just saying full stop. So how's that for a good pickup for this particular accountant? And she was forthcoming in saying, look, we could probably improve our customer service a little bit as well. And hey, I think most people would put their hand up and say, hey, we could. But she said compared to this last firm that they were at, we're a million miles ahead of them. So a couple of specific areas that we can look at around customer experience. The first one is onboarding. So what does that onboarding process look like for a new client? Maybe we go a step back. Do you even have an onboarding process, or is it a bit of a clunky conversation? They want to bring their work over and then we just go through some steps that maybe aren't in a process, they're just in someone's head, and it's different for everyone. That means things are going to take longer, things are probably going to be done out of order. That's about putting a process in place. Separate topic, but the experience then is, how does that person feel? That's what customer experience is all about. How do we make the person feel? And perfect time right now, middle of 2020, we know we're going through a health and social and financial and so on issues at the moment. It's all about how your clients are feeling, and I can tell you, for most of them, they're not feeling that good. So an onboarding experience, what are some of the things we can do to delight them? What are some of the things that we can help manage that sometimes that buyer's remorse? Have I made the right decision? Should I have come to them? They're a lot cheaper than my previous accountant. Is that a good thing? They're a lot more expensive than my previous accountant. Is that a good thing? How do I know they can do what they say they can do? What are the next steps? What are expectations? Who's going to be working on my file? I met with the partner, but I've never heard from them, and now I hear from all these other people. How can I start to learn some things that they've been telling me about? Can you see on all those things I just rattled off the top of my head how you could help and support? You might have an email sequence that goes out to them, and it might be introducing the people working, that's going to be the accountant specifically for this client. So you might want to shoot like a quick little video like this, and it would just be an introduction. Hi, my name is Brad Turville. I'm a senior accountant here at ABC Accountants. I'd like to welcome you on board. I'm going to be working directly with you, and you can see where I'm going with it. Imagine you sent that to every client. You could use something, you could just do this on an iPhone or on a smartphone. The cameras on them are unbelievable. So there's one idea. What about just even quick photo and maybe photos at the front and even a walk-in of your office? So when people roll up, they're not looking around. They know, okay, I've seen the video. That all matches up. What about sending them the Google Maps link to how to get to? What about telling them where the cheap parking is? Okay, I know it sounds small, but that's massive. When you go somewhere, you want to know where to park, where's the best. I don't want to get a ticket. What's the cheapest? Help them out. You're going to know the best areas in your area. In fact, what if there was paid parking, but you were able to somehow subsidize it or wear it on behalf of the client? That could be interesting. What about the request for information? Do you have digital engagement letters? Do you have digital payment methods? Do you have digital ways of transferring information, collecting data from them? Do you have a CRM where you're able to document certain things? Okay, they've got two kids and they're aged 8 and 6, and they follow the Melbourne Demons football club, and so on and so forth. Does that, and even from a process perspective, look at some of the benefits there. Can we automatically add them to our systems, automatically set up our folder hierarchy and structure, automatically set up a checklist that we need to go through? A few onboarding ideas there for you. If you've got more to contribute to that, I'm sure a lot of you do. I know a lot of you do some amazing onboarding, and I know some of you have never even thought about it at all. Another one is year end. Okay, let's think about year end. So I'm talking about compiling year end financials and tax work. Okay, any accountant watching this, 99.9% of a chance that your firm does this. What is that experience like for someone? Do they just send some stuff in? It goes on the shelf out the back. When you're ready, you get to it, you pick it up. Oh, the bank statement number 14 is missing. I go back to the client, they send it back in, it goes back on the... We know what it's like. And then all the client gets right at the end is they might get the document sent to them with some sign here stickers. It goes back and that's it. Okay, the digital version of that is you send it on a digital signing platform and they sign it and you go, all right, there you go on your merry way. No annual accounts meeting to go around that. No pointing out, hey, we know you did your job, and actually during the job we identified, 3 big things. You're a sole trader at the moment, but the tax and risk that comes attached with that based on how much your business has grown, we need to have a discussion around restructuring that's going to save you enormous from a tax perspective, and from a risk perspective, it's going to take it from here to here. Also, while we're at it, we noticed that your average debtor days have blown out from 39 to 58. Were you aware of this? I'm sure cash flow is probably a little bit tight. And while we were also at it, we noticed that your gross profit is starting to trend off as you're growing. Did you know this was happening, and do you know what that means? And do you know what's going to happen in the coming months to year if you continue this trajectory? Now, most accountants don't do that exercise, and that's super simple. I'm not asking you to do anything fancy here. It's just have a look in and identify what problems have we got. It could be as simple as the trust deed maybe hasn't been updated ever. It doesn't matter. Do I find a problem or can I find an opportunity, and can I just tell the client about it? It is a value add. Also, do we do it online? Do we maybe do it via Zoom? Do we send things for digital signing? Do we put together a very nice prepared report pack that not only shares maybe these 3 ideas that we've had, but also some of the things we've done? There might be certain tax planning elements that you've put in there, or how you've handled certain things, or it might just be a couple of little graphs that are in there just showing some trends on what's going on. It just gives them more for the same price, but it opens up the opportunity to have conversations with them. That's the benefit with year-end work. Don't think of it as a means to an end, in that do the work, they pay you 3 or 4 grand to do it, cool, I'll see you in 12 months time. That opens up the opportunity for an exciting conversation and how we can better help and support you. All right, a couple of tactics that I want to share. The first one is 24-hour turnaround time on calls and emails. I don't say drop everything and do it. I'm not saying keep your email client open all day, every day. Definitely do not do that. But what I'm saying is in 24 hours, you want to get back to them. Now, you don't need to specifically answer their question. You just need to get back to them. So let's say I got an email now and I'm busy all day, and at 4:30 in the afternoon, I quickly whip open my emails and I see there's a few in there, and there's too many to get back to. I've got another phone call to get on. It needs some more work. Whatever the case is, even just a quick email to say, hey, I got your email. Thanks for sending it. I need to look at a few things, or I'm tied up on back-to-back calls all day today. First thing tomorrow, I'm onto it. That's it. So you're not even answering their question because you don't have the capacity. Now, most people don't do that step. They just don't answer it at all. And when you send an email or you leave a message for someone, straight away people start thinking, why haven't I heard back from this person? Why haven't they responded to my email? That's the world we live in, is that, text messages back and forth and access to everyone. So the same goes with phone calls, is you could just have someone on your team quickly call back and just tell them what's going on. Hey, Brad knows that you called. He said, thanks for calling. He's tied up on back-to-backs. He needs to look at this, this, and this before he calls you back. First thing tomorrow. It's basically updating them as a in-between step. So 24 hours, even better if you can get back to them within 24 hours with the thing that they need. And hey, sometimes the thing that they need will be an actual meeting. So you're getting back to them and educating them that, hey, there's more to this than what you might think. And what I'd like to do is coordinate a call to tell you a little bit about that, but then what we need to do next and what that looks like. Because the clients don't know everything, okay? We know some of them think that they do, but they're just your job to step in and say, hey, you might think this, but in fact there's this, and here's some things we can do together. Some of them are going to be paid services as well. Oh, this one I love. The update when there is no update. So it actually, applies back to that previous point of 24-hour turnaround. The update that when there is no update. So this is something that I love to do when I was in practice, which was, let's say on a Friday, you've got a job that's in process at the moment, but there's no real update. We're still working on it, or we're still waiting for something, or there's no big update, but you're still in the middle of the job. So what if you could send an email to the client, I don't want to say touching base, because it's we know that word, but it's essentially what you're doing, right? So all you would say to the client, it takes 5 seconds, and you can literally copy and paste the same email to all the clients where there's an update with no update, which is, hi Brad, quick update before the weekend. We're still working on your file. There's nothing massive to update you on, but just wanted to let you know, hey, we're still working on it. I hope I hope you enjoy the weekend. I hope you enjoy the sun this weekend, or, go the Bombers or whatever. That's it. And you can literally copy and paste and shoot it through to all your open jobs. Now, I hope you haven't got a squillion open jobs at the moment, but that little update, you won't hear back from a client. A couple of them you will, but most of them will just get it. And what will it do? It gives them a good experience. And some will come back and say, hey, thanks for that. You enjoy your weekend as well. They value it, and it takes you 5 seconds to do it. So don't feel like, okay, I need to send, I need to chase someone up, or I need to request something from someone. You also want to update with the no updates. What if let's say you've decided going forward, you've got very specific on the type of clients you want to work with. You might have packaged up and sold off some, and you've dialed in your ideal client. And it's business client, a certain industry, and here's how you want to work with them, and you're getting specific on your experience with what you want them to experience and the outcomes you want them to get. And you want to work closer with a smaller number of clients. This will still apply to different versions, but I'm just painting a bit of a story here. Closer with a smaller number of clients. They're probably going to pay at least 10 grand a year each. Let's run with that example. What if with those clients, when they came on board and hey, they'd signed the proposal, we'd already had a few meetings, they got to know the team, so on and so forth. What if you, as the partner for that particular client, or the lead person, so there might be someone in your team, you might be the partner, but you're really going to have nothing to do with it. Get your person, director, supervisor, client, whoever it is, the lead person, they're going to send this client a bottle of champagne, okay? And they're going to welcome them and celebrate them coming on board, and how excited we are to have them on board, and the project we're going to start with them, and the opportunities that we see where we can help them get ahead and achieve some of those business and personal goals. And You're going to have a bottle of champagne, you're going to put it in like a packaging box, and you're going to get a card, and you're going to hand write the whole card. Don't just have like the printed out and you just sign. I want you to hand write it and personalize it. Because you've done a good onboarding and you've got a good data capture, and you've really shown empathy, and you have been very active in your listening, you're really going to understand this person, where they are, where they're going, what they like, what they don't like, personal things. You'll be able to write a ripper card to them, and you send that to the client. That is solidifying that, wow, they're different. I think I've made the right choice here. Secondly, no accountants do this. Okay, so if most firms are the same, bang, you're now differentiating. How's this onboarding experience? Wow, they sent me a video. Wow, they're excited to have me on board. Wow, there's a bit of a celebration. Wow, I've got a bottle of champagne to celebrate that onboarding. They're going to call or email you in 5 seconds of the courier delivering that. They're going to tell people about it. They're probably going to put it up on social. Now, that's a peripheral benefit that you'll get from it, but the aim is to have an amazing experience for them. And last one is around education. So that's exactly like this. I do the Modern Firm Practices show to educate accountants on topics that I feel I can contribute a lot to. So what education are you providing to your clients? One great thing that's sort of come out of this current COVID environment is a lot of accountants are now interested in how I want to, and I'm interested in, and how do I deliver educational webinars where I can help a lot of my clients on one call at once and answer their questions and contribute to helping them stay up to date, answer their questions, share things they might not know, and so on. So from a customer experience perspective, how is my advisor educating me? Separate to, they're educating me, but I'm in a financial awareness program and it's costing me, $5 or $6 or $8 or $900 a month. That is one way of doing it, but that's a paid service. And hey, you could have a great experience that goes around that. But what other things can you do from an educational perspective? You might put together, I know another accountant putting together a couple actually, putting together a financial literacy education course. It could be free only for clients. And hey, you might even sell it to the general public as well, but they have to pay for it. Vice versa, it could just be fully paid for everyone. You could structure that a number of different ways. The other part to it is entertainment. So it's educational, and that helps with prospective clients and nurturing existing clients, but also entertainment. A little bit hard to do in the current world in the middle of 2020, but once social distancing starts to relax a little bit, what are some entertainment activities you could look to do to bring you and clients together, to bring clients together for them to collaborate and network between themselves? You might want to dabble a little bit of education on there as well, but how can you build I think tribe is the right type of word. You're going to get super sticky and excited and engaged clients if you do that, because most firms, there's no customer experience, there's no educational, they don't even get back to them, let alone do any entertainment. It's basically transactional. I need this done, you do it, I pay you, versus what I've just spoken about for the last 20 odd minutes. So I want to know, what are your best customer experience ideas? I'm sure there's a whole lot of rippers out there. If you'd like to see a few more, I'm going to put a link below to an article I wrote sharing about 20 additional ideas. Some of them I touched on today. There's plenty more in there. I'd love for you to go in and implement them. I'd love to know. I'm always wanting to stay on top of what are some cool ones so I can share them with accountants I work with, but I can even implement them myself. This has been the Modern Firm Practices Show. I'm Brad Turville. Go and look at customer experience.